What's up, guys? So another day in the gym. We're at Kings Highway CrossFit, getting ready to work out with Coach Brandon. He'll be here in a second. He kicked my ass in here yesterday, and I think he's prepping to do that again. So he's going to take you through the workout, explain what we're going to do, why we're going to do it, and we'll see if I can actually get through this.
So Saturday, end of the week, we've accrued quite a bit of volume at this point. We've worked out quite a bit. Body's kind of beat up, right? You've got all the volume from the previous start of the week. I tend to start my weeks heavier, so I tend to end my weeks a little bit lighter. So there's a lot of like the sort of rounding out the accessory movements here. We'll start with a unilateral superset, get a bit of shoulders, a little bit of quads. So it's going to be single arm shoulder press. We're going to do that with the jammer arms, just because it's what we have available to us here. There's no real shoulder press here. And then we'll do single leg extensions. We'll go into a bit of dynamic work with a hang muscle snatch. Really targeting the development of the shoulders with that, as opposed to like heavy dynamic movement for the legs and the hips. We're just recruiting enough of those that we can get a reasonable amount of weight up and through the snatch. Strict GHD sit-up, a little bit of chest work, a little bit of back work. That's the thing. So yeah, I just grab it here. Yeah. Right at the edge. Because I'm trying to target more of my side delt, I do bring my body forward a bit. Yeah. So that I'm more out to the side, as opposed to here where I get more front and more tricep. Out here I'll still get tricep, but it will target the side delt a little more effectively. Yeah. Okay. And that's it. And all I want to really do is make sure that like the shoulder is doing the work here, right? And that controlled eccentric really helps me to make sure I'm feeling the stretch in the shoulder. Yep. And try not to do like this kind of stuff, right? Just yeah. Nice up, right? Okay.
Oh my God, I'm gonna start using this thing.
It's nice, eh? It's not bad for like even stiff leg deadlift variations, right? I find you can use it for some lunging. In the past, I've done that. Yeah. Well, delts are funny because like, yeah, they can be pretty strong because they're supported by your lats, your traps, triceps, even some upper chest helps out with that, right? Yeah. But because the delts themselves are relatively small muscles, you got to hit them pretty regularly with like a lot of frequency. Yeah. To actually get the growth you want out of them, right? It's not like quads that you can hit like, you know, once or twice a week and just demolish. You can hit the delts 3, maybe even 4 times a week, depending on how you program. Right. And that's what's going to get them to grow, right? The volume aspect. Yeah. And volume and how close they go to failure. CrossFit does a great job of giving you a lot of shoulder volume, but it doesn't do a great job of actually taking that muscle group to the failure point where it's actually going to grow in. Right. But that's probably why you have such strong ass shoulders, right? Coming from this background.
They're decent. Yeah.
All right, let's get some weight on there.
Let's do it.
So how I'm going to go through this is I'm going to start just right arm, right, go to failure. I'll probably take like a 15-second rest just to kind of catch my breath directly into the left arm. Right over to the single leg extension. Kind of same thing, take the leg to failure, quick rest, take the leg to failure. And I'm just going to cycle through like that. Essentially like as minimal rest as I can between each superset. Nice and efficient, nice and quick. Hitting, you know, shoulders, a little bit of triceps, a little bit of pecs, crushing the quads. So it's a nice little superset. Okay. Yeah. That was good.
That's very nice.
Burn. Okay. A couple breaths. I find that's something that like a lot of people who come from CrossFit have a challenging time with. Taking a bit of a break between the movements. Right. They're rushing right into it, right?
Yeah. See, I'm the opposite. I came from not taking lots of breaks. Yeah. And then CrossFit was that was challenging for me to start with because
100%, for sure. It's like same type of problem, just opposite side of the coin.
Opposite side of the coin, yeah. There's definitely a benefit to not stopping, to being able to have that.
Oh yeah.
But also, if you want these heavy lifts like this, you need a degree of rest in between, right?
100%. 100%. So you might even notice that my left shoulder probably doesn't come down as far as the other one.
Right.
Which is like, it's annoying, but for me to make it go any further, it just compromises my form. I can feel like the tendons kind of doing that.
Yeah, okay.
That snapping thing.
The muscle's not doing the work anymore.
Yeah. So it's like, might as well just leave it at a range where the muscle does the work.
Yeah.
And that range will improve over time if you do that. But if you force yourself into the position, it's not going to help anything.
It won't help?
No. Okay. If you're forcing yourself into a position under load, it's not going to help. It's going to reinforce that bad position.
Right, and that would be true for
pretty much
every exercise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got strong shoulders. Let's see.
I don't know. We'll see.
As long as you can get 8, at least 8. Try to eliminate that little bounce. Just a little pause. Little pause. Little momentary pause at the bottom. There it is. Beautiful. Yes. Nice, nice. These look really good. More. Leg extensions.
Do you find the independent leg training a lot more beneficial than doing double leg?
No, I wouldn't say a lot more.
Okay.
But particularly if you have imbalances like I do with my legs,
yeah,
it's very helpful to correct those imbalances, but also to start giving you greater perceptive awareness of that particular muscle group. Oh, gosh damn.
Nice work.
Never walk again. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. That was good. That was a good finish.
Did the trick?
That was good. Wow. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We're woken up now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
Amazing. Then, why are we mixing shoulders and quad extensions?
So, I mean, they're so opposed, right? Like they're not related whatsoever. So I can hit both those muscle groups with a pretty high level of intensity while the other one's recovering.
Right.
So there's that. And not only does that allow me for really good intensity for both muscle groups, which are kind of lagging for me right now, I'm also having a much more efficient workout. Right? Instead of just finishing off the shoulders, then moving to the quads, am I going to have a little bit more intensity for them? Potentially.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm taking myself close to failure, and I'm sticking to a regular training cycle for a long period of time, I'm going to get all the progress that I want, and I'm going to save a ton of time doing it, right?
Okay.
So to me, it's a well worth trade-off. Even if like there's a little bit of loss of growth there, the trade-off in terms of me being able to get an efficient workout in, and get out is worth it. or else there's just no way I wouldn't be able to sustain it, right?
Maximize the time.
Yes, yes, we all need that today, that's for sure.
Right on.
Oh.
All right, what are we doing?
So we're gonna go a hang muscle snatch with really focusing, like a little bit of drive from the legs, but really we're focusing on that upright row, turnover, press through. So nice way to hit the shoulders in a dynamic fashion. And then we're going over to the GHD for strict GHD sit-ups. Okay. So it's gonna be a good test for the core. Unlike the last superset, these two have a little more overlap, but it's just around the core. And if we pre-fatigue our core a little bit here, it means we get less reps over there, but we still go to failure. All good.
Okay.
Yep, all good. All right, let's hit it. Let's see what your hang muscle snatch looks like.
What it looks like?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I'm gonna keep it more of a high hang, so I'm just gonna come down to basically just into the athletic position.
Yep.
It's gonna be up, pull, press through, right? So it's still, everything about the snatch is still there, right? It's still that hang high. It's gonna be a turn through, and then a press, right? So the bar still wants to stay nice and close. We don't wanna be doing like this stuff, right? Up, through, okay? Just like this.
Okay.
So there is a distinct turnover phase.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we're here.
Yeah, and then you're gonna go into your athletic position. I want you to start with just this, just the bend. So stay tall, 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 and then we're just gonna go into the bend or into the dip, and let's pull through. Let's see one.
Then we're going all the way up?
Yep. All right.
Am I bending too much?
So no need to dip under it in this case.
Right.
Right? So when you go through with the legs, really drive hard through the legs, we stay extended, and we pull through.
It's funny, I spent so much time trying to put the dip in because it wasn't natural for me. I couldn't get it, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Ah, I see.
Okay. Better?
You're still dipping, still dipping. So you're just literally gonna start here, pull the bar up your body, turn through, press.
Okay.
This is gonna give you the pattern we're looking to hit.
So we're here.
Yep. Through, press. Good. Now with that press, right, we still want this to be aggressive. We still need a fast turn and then a press through. Fast turn, not bad. I want you to fast turn, stop, press through. Press through. Better. Again. High elbows, turn, press through. Don't fast turn, but don't rush when it happens. So I'm gonna get you to come as high as you can, pause, press. As high as you can, pause, through, pause, press. Nice. Again. High as you can, high, through, press. Oh, that was your best one yet.
That was the best one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that one was the best one for sure.
It's a turn, right?
The turn was nice.
Oh my God.
High.
It's actually
High, through, press. Gorgeous.
better? Okay.
Yes.
I get it. Okay, so because I did it and now I can't not.
There's one. Better. Now high elbows. High elbows. Better, good. Now turn over, press. Better. Ooh, that was a nice one.
Okay.
Ooh, that was the fucking best one.
It's the turn.
And now you did it better on the way down too. Look at that. Good. Same thing on the way down. Turn over. Yes! Oh, that was a nice one. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting it. actually gnarly. That was a good shoulder bump.
Good.
That was good.
You're straight over to GHDs?
Yeah. Let's see.
We're slow on these.
Yeah, the strict. Have you ever done a Jefferson curl?
Like where is the Jefferson behind you or is that in front of you like this?
Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing now.
You know what? Talk
Jefferson
here.
is like.
That means the cameraman. Talk here.
Okay. Yeah. So a Jefferson curl, if you've ever done one before,
right,
is like you're literally vertebrae by vertebrae curling yourself down.
Oh, right.
Into like a deadlift.
Yeah.
Like what would look like the worst deadlift in the world.
Yeah.
But it's great for back health, right?
Is it?
I kind of think about the same thing here.
Yeah.
So as I'm bringing myself down under control, I'm thinking about opening up like bit by bit.
Right.
As opposed to like letting this relax.
Just letting it flop. Yeah, okay,
and then opening up and letting that transition into my hips and low back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep that tension here and feel it getting pulled open. And it's the opposite on the way up, right? I'm trying to vertebrae by vertebrae crunch myself up.
Okay. I'll try and keep that cue.
Yeah.
It's funny, as soon as you said curl, obviously I think bicep exercise, right?
I'm second guessing myself now. I'm like, is that what it's fucking called? I'm pretty sure it is.
I was thinking spider curls, I think.
Spider curls are dope.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really good. Big open, big stretch, nice. Oh yeah. Woo. If you can come up more powerfully, do so. Good, very nice. Big open, big open. Up. 2, let's go 2. Yes. One more. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Fight yourself up. Don't let your hips take over. Open. Come on. Vertebrae. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nicely done.
Jesus.
But did you feel how on that second last one, there was the tendency to kind of firm up here?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Which, that's going to happen naturally when you're doing a dynamic GHD sit-up.
Right.
We want to eliminate that as much as we can here so we can...
These kind of used to scare me in general, so I'm always like, I think my natural is like flex your legs as much as possible, and I'm trying to let go of that.
Sure.
But I was like, you know what, my spine is gonna snap when I do this. But I know you don't, but like that's just my...
You're much less likely to do anything bad to yourself doing the strict version than the dynamic version.
The dynamic version feels a little...
It'll make you way stronger in the dynamic version anyway.
Yeah.
I used to knock my SI joint out doing those things all the time.
Really?
Yeah, all the time. For like, I'd say like the first year, my SI joint would come out like, I don't know, at least once or twice a month.
Seriously?
Oh, it was the worst. And then you go to the chiro, you're walking like a pregnant woman for a couple days, right? You can only train upper body. But thankfully, because I had that problem and I had the curiosity to be like, why is this happening to me and how do I correct it? It's never happened again.
Right.
Like I can toss 100 of those out, not a big deal. It made me pretty bulletproof in that way.
Yeah.
There's a book out there called The Gift of Injury, and it catalogs the story of Brian Carroll, who was a high-level powerlifter, and I think he was squatting something over 1,000, like a high number, and something happened, hurt himself, fractured one of his discs completely. So, and they were telling him like, you might not be able to walk again. much less ever powerlift again.
Right.
He met up with his doctor, Stuart McGill, who's like known as the back doctor. He's actually a Canadian doctor, and got him not only walking again, and this is like over the course of like a year, got him walking again, and then got him on the platform again, and I think he set a record like 1,400 or something like that, or like 12. It was a huge squat. Either way, he was back up to lifting elite level powerlifting numbers, higher than he was before when he got hurt. They went back and did CT scans of his spine again, and essentially it had calcified through what they'd done together,
right,
to be stronger than the original bone.
Okay.
And this is what happens when you go through a proper recovery cycle,
right?
The tendons, the ligaments, the bones even can actually become stronger, right? So long as you keep doing the work, it's just probably going to be a different kind of work.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't be a dumbass. I hurt myself squatting. I'm going to go back and squat the same thing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? There's a good chance you're going to have to dial back quite a bit. Brian Carroll was an elite level athlete. He dialed back to the point of, I was squatting 1,000 pounds last week. This week, I'm literally walking is my training.
Just getting back, yeah.
That's it. Right? But it worked. It worked at an elite level. But like regular people, you know, like regular gym goers think it's not going to work for them. It's like, it worked for that guy. It's going to work for you.
Love it.
Yeah. That's how I've always approached injury. You know, I've always considered them like an opportunity.
Right.
Very lucky that way, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What bench are we using?
We're going to use the chest press machine.
The chest press machine.
Because again, like late in the week, right, you've accrued a lot of volume at this point. Generally, you're starting your week with a lot more of your heavier work. So end of the week, take some of the stress off of yourself. I move more of my training towards machines by the end of the week. So I'm not doing heavy compounds. They're going to mess up my, my central nervous system as much. But I still get a great pump. And that's what I'm here for today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I went saw my family last night.
Yeah.
Easter. And they gave me so much food. And I was like, I've been dieting for a while, so I was like, okay, I'll take today as like kind of refeed, get some glycogen in the system.
Yeah.
Put on 3 pounds overnight.
Overnight.
Yeah.
You can do that. Yeah, I guess when you're paying that much attention to it and being that diligent, like.
Yeah. We can like, you know, as like we're guys, we're a little bit bigger. So
Yeah.
like 3 pounds is like relatively not a lot. And it definitely isn't tissue, right? It's just 3 pounds of like a little bit of water retention, some glycogen, maybe a little bit of fat store, right? But generally, like that 3 pounds will clear out in the next few days. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was delicious.
I bet.
I ate so many of those eggs. Oh.
Once you're going for it, go for it, right?
Sorry, yeah, exactly. All right, what are we putting on here? What are the 45s?
You got a couple more? Yep. Easy. Yep. You want another one? Just because we're here. Got it. Go. Easy. That was an easy rep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Nice one, man.
Holy jumping. Right? You know who Tom Platz is?
I've heard the name.
He's like a really big, like old school bodybuilder. He had crazy legs. Like,
Okay.
Like those kinds of legs.
Yeah.
Like there's no thigh gap on that guy. But he was like known for training in a very specific manner.
Right.
With like 1 or 2 sets per muscle group, like per week. and he would just annihilate it, and that became his style. But that recently resurged as like really popular, and because we have a bit more science now, we know like, yes, he was onto something, but he only had half the story, right?
Sure.
He had the intensity, but we still have to consider, well, what about the frequency and the volume, and also recoverability, right? If you're a gigantic bodybuilder with gigantic legs, then yeah, you might be able to fucking dominate your legs in one single workout, and that's all you need. But if you're like kind of the average gym goer, the likelihood of you being able to hit your legs with the strength you have and the muscle amount you have so fucking hard that you literally only can or should hit them once a week, it's very, very low. It's likely not to happen. It's the same reason why people who are athletic come to do CrossFit first time will often get like rhabdo.
Yeah.
Because they have the ability to do that shit to themselves. The average person just doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
So there's truth to it, right? But it's not. It sort of goes back to that thing with CrossFit earlier where it's like, there's a lot of great stuff here, but because the average person doesn't know how to work around the margins to get what they want specifically,
Yeah.
the whole story doesn't get told. So then there's misconceptions, and then people end up like bitching about a methodology, like, oh, CrossFit gets you hurt. It's like, no, CrossFit got you hurt.
Yeah.
You made those choices, right? It didn't hold a gun to your head and like do the thrusters, right? Like you did the thrusters like shit. That's on you.
Yeah. Fair enough. Excuse me, ma'am, we're filming here. Can you please go work out somewhere else?
She stole our weights too.
Stole our weights.
How dare she?
Surprised she didn't steal the 45s, to be honest with you.
She's a weight stealer.
Yeah.
She's a weight stealer. Gotta find some 10s now. I ate so much food last night, I was like, oh, okay, well, I won't make breakfast this morning because I'm just not hungry.
Yeah.
And I have plenty of fuel in the tank. But now I'm feeling it, now I'm ready. I'm ready for that big juicy breakfast.
When you come off of a routine or something that you've been stick to, it throws your whole rhythm off a little bit, eh?
It would have in the past, now it doesn't.
Right.
Now it's like, I've been doing the foundational things for so long that it's easy enough for me to scale back
Yeah.
to the next most foundational thing and still continue to make progress, right? And I've talked about that with clients before, where it's like they think, oh, I can't do absolutely everything that I used to do.
Yeah.
So let me just take my foot off the gas completely.
Right.
And stop doing things until I'm ready to do everything again. And generally a bad strategy, because oftentimes it's very hard to come back to it if you just fully take your foot off the gas, and you're just going to lose so much.
Yeah.
When whatever you've gained in terms of muscle or fat loss, you can maintain that with literally a third of the effort
Right.
that it took for you to get there. You just need to know what to do, how to do it, and like how to make that work in your life.
Yeah.
Right? Like I might scale back to, like my 3 priorities, whatever they happen to be for me, but that might be very different for somebody who's got kids and
Sure.
doing multiple jobs, right?
Yeah.
What they scale back to might be different, but sort of like with that Greg Glassman quote, it's still the same process, right? You still are scaling back in the same manner. It just might be a different thing that you're scaling back on. So I wish people were like more comfortable with that, and I don't know. I haven't fully figured out how to get people to that place,
I
right?
think they have to start doing it.
They have to start doing it.
And then they realize, they go, shit, like I've been missing this. And then, like I'm capable of doing more, packing more in, or just finding a better balance.
Yeah.
And I really think it's a scarcity thing for people. They think like, some people have it in their head like, hey, I'm already managing a lot.
Yeah.
I've already got,
Yeah.
like I feel like I'm at capacity, not realizing there's so much more room or there's so much more in the tank for them. Like that's
very true.
for me, that was a thing, right? So
That's actually a really good point. That's a really good point. People do very much underestimate themselves and what they can handle,
yeah.
especially when it comes to this. And this is often one of the first things to fall away.
Excuse me, man, we were using that. Go, 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 go. Yep.
Generally a good practice, just so long as you aren't jeopardizing your form to get there.
Yeah.
There you are.
See.
You're welcome.
And that's the, yeah, see, I've never.
Just busting them. Just busting them out.
No problem.
She got a weighted vest under there too, folks.
She does, yeah. Nice work, Sash.
That was like 8.
See, I'm just counting 10.
Oh, okay, yeah, I wasn't counting, but that was a lot. That was definitely more than 5.
More than 5.
Definitely more than 5.
Why do you like this over others?
Good angle.
Yeah.
Very comfortable position. Like a good arc. Like I feel the tension, the weight the whole time. It's not just being taken away at the top. Yeah, it's nice. I like the handle position. Yes.
So what are like the mental cues you go through here?
So I'm really thinking about getting the maximum stretch I can in those pecs, right? So sort of like with the shoulder presses earlier, I'm only going so far back as I can continue to feel the tension in the chest.
Right.
A lot of people will like go to a point with their bench press or their chest movements where their shoulders kind of just take over. Mm-hmm. And it's like, what's the point, right? You start getting your shoulder kind of rounding over like this.
Yep.
You're not targeting what you think you're targeting anymore. So I just stick to strictly the range of motion I can stick to target the chest muscles for this. And that's good.
Okay.
That's good. You want to find the position in the seat for you that gives you like a nice deep stretch here, across the pec. So kind of easy on the machine. I don't find it's very challenging for most people, and that's why machines are a great way to either start somebody who's kind of new but still wants to see some positive benefit, or for somebody who trains very frequently and you don't want to just be beating yourself up with the compounds all the time.
Right.
This is like a very easy machine that you can just jump into and get a bunch of work in without having to think about it a ton. But you still need the same cues as you would for a bench press.
Yeah.
So I'm still keeping my shoulders like down and back, right? So they're very stabilized against the bench. I'm not chasing the barbell or anything like that.
Yeah.
And again, just keeping that range of motion in a place where my shoulders don't start doing this and rounding over.
Right.
And taking over the movement.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's very, very straightforward exercise. Oh, yeah. So somebody, because we were talking a bit about it, and then somebody asked me, like specifically, how do you put CrossFit into your training? And it's a good question because like CrossFit's a great methodology, especially for general fitness, right? You get so much out of it. But eventually, you take that general fitness so far, you start wanting some specific things. Usually those specific things are like, I want some sort of strength outcome, or I want some sort of physique outcome. And that's not gonna happen doing just general CrossFit. So you need to start tailoring those CrossFit workouts to you. Knowing how to do so is the hard part, right? Like expecting somebody to walk off the street and, oh, right, like I need to scale this for myself because this is the exact goal that I'm trying to set for myself. It's not very realistic. So that's sort of the challenge that's presented there. But you can definitely combine the two. It just generally means that you're going to spend less time doing the dynamic stuff. Right? Like you were just talking about the GHD sit-ups.
Yeah.
And it's like we're always doing GHD sit-ups dynamically. Now we've done them strict, and it's like, I love these. Why aren't we doing more of these?
Totally.
I want more of this. Absolutely, right? Put it into your training, but generally, unfortunately, but also realistically, you as the athlete are going to have to make those decisions or be very clear about the goals that you have with your coach, right? If you've got a coach, be very clear, ask them to help you develop you in that direction. But if you're on your own, like, yeah, you have to be very clear about what you're trying to achieve. And then understanding how to get there is a whole nother layer, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want six-pack abs, yeah, like dynamic GHG sit-ups might take you part of the way there, but they're probably not going to finish the job, right? And if you spend more time doing strict ones, you're going to build more hypertrophy response in the abs than otherwise, right? So, yeah. I wish there was a simple answer.
Maybe that's the beauty of it. There is no simple answer.
There really isn't, because you know, I was actually thinking about this yesterday too. What it takes to get fit, healthy, right? Like if you're anyone who says I want to like build muscle, lose fat. Okay, this is what you need to do, and it's pretty clear. But what you're going to do, the path you're going to take to get there, is still going to be very different than somebody else's, because you live a different life.
Sure.
Right? But you can still do it, just because it's different. Because you don't do anything in life exactly the same as somebody else does, right? You don't send emails the same way. You don't do dishes the same way. However, it still gets done.
Right.
You just find a way to make it work with your lifestyle. And with those things, it's relatively easy. With something like fitness and training, there's a lot more layers there to peel back before you finally get to that place.
Right.
Right? But you can still get there. It's just, there's no template to say, this is it. This is exactly how everyone is going to get the goal they want.
Yeah.
Right? It's not realistic. That's why like individualized, very bespoke, very specified coaching and training is so huge, right? Like there's no world-class athlete jumping in and doing CrossFit classes on the weekend or F45, right? They have a very specific plan. And it's the same for the average person too.
Yeah.
I think Greg Glassman said something about that as well, like what the difference is between what an elite athlete needs versus the general public is a difference of kind, not intensity. Or is it the opposite? Difference of kind, or difference of intensity, not kind. Yeah, it's a difference of intensity, not kind. They still need the same stuff. They still need generally the same treatment, right? But they just need it at a different scale, a different level.
Right.
Yeah.
Like injury-wise for me, like a big wake-up call was I broke the ankle, went through a surgery, ended up like getting a blood clot from it,
Yeah.
and then having a pulmonary embolism for that. It was a series of like mishaps
Right.
and all that, but what it really taught me going through all that, like one, it put me in a bit of a dark place because I was pretty, you're pretty beaten down. It's one thing after another. You can't get off the couch, you can't be with your family, you can't do the things
Especially
you
when
want to
you're
do.
somebody who's used to moving your body.
Yeah, and then you have like an actual health scare where you're in the ER and they're like, okay, like don't move, go sit in the hospital bed, and you're on like the high blood thinners and kind of things like that. That was a big wake-up call to like while I'm active and while I'm like I feel like I'm doing stuff, like I played hockey, I did all those things, like the attention to nutrition wasn't necessarily always there.
Right, okay.
Like it was there, but it wasn't really there. You know what I mean? We'd still have weeks of binging and I'd eat pizza 2-3 times a week sometimes, and I'd use the kids as an excuse and all that.
Of course.
So that was a wake-up call. So like an injury is an opportunity. Like it was horrible. I wouldn't want to go through it again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it gave me that, you know what, maybe you're not doing things the right way, and start to pay attention a little bit more to the nutrition side. And then also dial up the fitness a little bit more, take it a little more seriously, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah, it was a good, like a blessing in disguise in a way.
It's funny how it works out that way.
Yeah.
And it does. It's very true. You know, we were just talking about like one of my blessings in disguise, and I've had many. But like, what is it that gives somebody that perspective of the situation, and what is it that takes that perspective away, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do some people feel that way? And then why do sometimes I talk to someone and they're like, oh, I hurt my wrist, so I can't work out. And it's like, your wrist.
You got legs.
You can't do shoulders, legs, you can't go for a run.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why does that person choose that? And then why do the Jasons of the world choose, I'm going to do a better thing because of this?
You know, okay, so I think one would be severity. For me, there was a good level of severity to the injury. But I've also been guilty in my younger years of taking an injury as an opportunity to take a break. which isn't necessarily the way to go. Now, when I first broke my ankle, I'm like, cool, I'm gonna do push-ups all day. I'm just gonna roll off the couch, I'm gonna do push-ups, I'm gonna do sit-ups, I'm gonna do whatever I can do, you know what I mean? I can't really stand, so I maybe sit in a chair and do some dumbbell stuff. And it's funny, like, I find momentum works in either for you or against you. So slowly, when you add it up, like, you know, okay, then there was the blood clot, and then there was all these other things, I started to say, I fell off the working out. Like, I didn't do the push-ups, I didn't do the sit-ups.
Sure.
I just kind of took that as a, you know what, I just need to like sit here for a minute. Even though sitting there was the worst thing I could do. So it's weird, it was the momentum going the other direction. And then once I got there, almost to the bottom, it was like, now, like once I was able to use my leg again and get up and moving, I was like, okay, that's it. Like, I'm not taking my foot off the gas,
So sick of the situation that you did have.
Completely,
you just, oh wow.
Yeah.
So it was like just a stack of so much pain that not doing something was more painful.
Totally.
Yeah,
not doing anything. But also I think maybe like there's a degree of like, I've always been active and athletic my entire life. So if I didn't have that, but maybe that wouldn't be there. But like, I know where I want to be. If I can't get up and run out with the kids, I'm absolutely miserable, right? I was a baseball coach and I couldn't. I'd go and I'd sit there and I'd bring a little stupid chair to like rest my leg up on because I keep it elevated, and I'd sit there and just kind of like yell from the sidelines. But like, you're not in it, right? Like.
So okay, if you could hypothetically go back and talk to your younger self that got that injury, would you try to dissuade them, or would you like be like, yeah, you need this experience. This experience is going to make you better?
I would have said, okay, that's a good question, because I wouldn't want to do it again, because it put me out for a period of time. That version, I would be like, you know what, that was more, and then you stacked a couple things on top of it that were like, you know, like just the hospital visits, and then you're like looking at like the health system of like what a shit show this place is. But I think there is an element of I needed something. Like life gave me a little something. So whether it was that or a different form of that, I would take that over the nothing and just let me be kind of stay in love with
that mindset. Life gave me something.
It does.
Right?
It does.
It intended for me to do this.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I like that mindset. Is MMA kind of like the CrossFit of fighting?
It could be. It could be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not as well versed in it, but I see it as like, you know, there's certain aspects that work very well practically as opposed to as an art form, whereas there are some martial arts that are much more an art form, and you take the best pieces of each one that work in reality, and you have MMA. And I could be very wrong about that, but
God, jeez, I'm stuck.
Love that I'm just chatting away while you're
dying
in pain over here. It's good.
It's good. It's healthy.
Right? Makes it more casual.
It does. You know what I mean? Also creates like good connotations with being in pain.
Yeah.
Right? Someone like kind of just like chatting with a buddy.
Yeah, we're not worried.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not thinking too hard about it.
It's like, yeah, be in pain. That's normal. Have fun.
Yeah. It's life.
Yeah, you'll be good after.
That's life in the gym.
Yes, it is. It is. I used to find, and I think everyone maybe does at some point, the being in pain in the gym to be very like, ooh, I don't like this, I want to get away from this. I still did it.
Yeah.
But once I made the switch to like, when I'm in pain, thinking about like, oh, like I'm alive.
Yeah.
Like this is happening because like I'm alive right now, right? Like my heart is pumping. Like it tells me that like there's something more going on in here. I'm feeling this pain that, you know, one day I'll wish I could be able to go back and feel that pain because I'll be like, you know, old or infirmed or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want more of this now.
Yeah.
Dig into this deeper.
I see it very much, that whole conversation about like, oh, I have to go to work today. No, you get to go to work today. It's like you came to the gym to make progress, so you get to be in pain. You can get that one.
Sorry?
You can get that one, no?
I can do it. Oh, gosh damn. No, for sure. Have you read meditations?
I do breathing meditations. I haven't done.
Oh no, sorry, I meant read.
Read the. No, I haven't. No.
There's a part in there where he talks about, he's like, you know, waking up and being resentful about going to work, is never going to work because it's against your nature. Right?
Yeah.
We're here to work.
Right.
Right. That's like his argument. He's like, now what that work's going to be is going to be different for you, but just like, you know, the spider or the shark, like you have to go to work each day.
Yeah.
That's your purpose. That's why you're here on this planet.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah. When you reframe it that way.
Totally.
Yeah.
Test one, test two. Here, played squash. Squash is fun.